Hi, my name is the Deuteron Doctor, and there's a light behind the camera, so it's going to be pretty hard for me to talk into it because I got sensitive eyes. But I wanted to talk about something. It's been bothering me for a little bit now. And what I wanted to talk about was Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, and how it relates to the real world and how it can relate to a couple real life events that had happened recently. I think his name was Luigi Mangione or something like that. But I wanted to talk about it because it's a pretty important topic and I feel like it should be discussed. The thing that got me wanting to talk about it is not only comments on my own channel, but comments on the Watchovers channel and a bunch of other Overwatch YouTubers' channels. What I wanted to talk about specifically is we are not supposed to be comparing these two games. Sure, are they 6v6 hero shooters that have payload, capture the point, and a bunch of other similar game modes? Yes, they are. But they are not the same in terms of what story they're trying to tell. Now, shut up. I don't want to hear you say, but the PvE is canceled. We can't compare Overwatch to Marvel Rivals. We can. Stop thinking of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Stop. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. If I wanted to mention Marvel Cinematic Universe, that would be an unfair comparison. We're comparing a game's lore to a game's lore, not a game's lore to an entire Disney-owned brand of movies, cinematics, shows, and a game. That's just not fair. Game lore to game lore. Overwatch to Marvel Rivals. That's what we're talking about. Are the games similar in how they play? Yes. Are the heroes similar in how they're designed? Yes. But the key difference that we are all talking about, or at least most of us, when we're talking about Marvel Rivals versus Overwatch, is not the gameplay. We're talking about the characters. We're talking about the ideals that the characters uphold. We're talking about the lesson that Overwatch teaches through its characters and the lessons that Marvel Rivals teaches through its characters. Now, it's still not a one-to-one comparison. We'll never have that because Marvel Rivals is a Disney-owned company. They're not really, they don't need to make stories behind all their characters. They're already there in the MCU. But what I'm trying to get at is the fact that as someone who doesn't necessarily like Marvel at all, no, Overwatch is not worse than Marvel Rivals. And Marvel Rivals is not better than Overwatch by any means. I much prefer Overwatch to Marvel Rivals. And I know I'm going to get a million comments. I know I'm going to get a million comments saying, oh, Overwatch is a dead game. Overwatch is a dead game. Why are you playing it? It's a dead game. Marvel Rivals are so much better. I don't fucking care. Shut up. I don't. I do not care. I don't. If you're going to say that, I will literally just block you from commenting on the channel. No, it's not because I don't want to admit the facts. No, it's because you're fucking annoying and nobody likes you. Okay? If you comment that, nobody likes you. Trust me, nobody. I am sick and tired of when people try to compare Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. They just say, "Oh, they're similar, and Marvel Rivals is more popular, so it's better." No, that's not how you compare them. You can compare the gameplay all day, all you want. But the reason that Overwatch fans like Overwatch 9 times out of 10, unless we're talking about the competitive scene, is because of the lore and the lessons that the game teaches. Overwatch is based on one major lesson that I have learned to love with my whole body and soul. And that is, look at the world for the way that it could be, not for the way that it is. That is said in the Winston cinematic, I believe, for Winston's backstory. And yes, has it been a while since we've gotten a cinematic? Yes. Has it been a while since we've gotten any lore things that are substantial, not just like stories? Yes. Has the game been infected by corporate greed? Yes. But Bobby Kotick has left the company. Now, Microsoft isn't much better, but there have been good changes since then. And I think it's pretty annoying that everyone just said, oh, Bobby Kotick's gone. Everything's going to get better in 1 to 2 years. And nobody had the patience to actually wait that long. I think it's absolutely criminal that the second Marvel Rivals released, everyone went, well, I'm not waiting that long, so let's jump ship. Now, I don't necessarily blame them. They're not traitors or nothing. I'm not going to say that. That's not true. I understand wanting to play a game that's more popular, that is new. There's going to be a honeymoon phase. I am 100% confident that after a couple seasons of ranked and Marvel Rivals existing, people are going to have issues with balancing. And people are going to complain. I know it's going to happen. But again, the core value of Overwatch is trying to make the world not how it is, but how it could be. Ryan exemplifies that. He also exemplifies live with honor, die with glory. That's very, very specific to Ryan. But lots of characters do that. Soldier emanates the see it for how it could be, not for how it is. Brig emanates that. Cass emanates that. Lots of characters emanate that. If you take that quote and you apply it to each of the characters, most of the time, unless there's some exceptions, most of the time, that is exactly what the characters do. Hazard exemplifies see for it for how it could be, not for how it is. He wants to tear the system down. He wants to see the world as a better place. He wants to make it a better place. Now, is he doing it in my opinion, the wrong way? Yeah, probably. But lots of characters in Overwatch exemplify that. That is their core philosophy. Kiri emanates that. I'd say probably... Who else? Kiri emanates that. Hazard emanates that. Brig, Ryan. I said all those. I guess Genji, but it's more inwards reflection. Ramatra definitely exemplifies that. He's just the bad side of the coin. There are lots of characters in Overwatch that exemplify that. Now, if we compare that with Marvel Rivals, it's as far as I'm aware, I could be under educated on what the actual story or lesson is, but as far as I'm aware, it's mostly just multiverse shenanigans in the game, which they don't need to have a giant overarching story or a lesson to teach. Not every game needs that. Every game can just be fun and have whatever reason for it being a game. That's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that Overwatch has a story that people like. Marvel's story, even if we're counting the MCU, which we're not, but even if we did, the stories are not the same. They're not the same. They will never be the same. It's Marvel versus Overwatch. The stories will never be alike. The reason why everyone seems to be comparing Marvel Rivals and Overwatch is because of the stupid gameplay. We need to be looking at it from a story perspective. Not everyone that likes Overwatch will hop over to Marvel Rivals because of the story. If Overwatch had no story and had no personality, everyone would leave. Everyone. Everyone would leave. Because nobody would care. But there are emotional ties to Overwatch. Now, just like there are emotional ties to Marvel as a franchise. I'm sure lots of you out there love Marvel movies and Marvel characters. I don't personally care. But there are emotional ties. So yes, if you like Marvel, you're probably going to like Marvel Rivals more unless you played Overwatch for a longer time. Or you're new to Overwatch and you really enjoy it and you're having a honeymoon phase. Yes, I understand that. I understand a lot of content creators are sick and tired of Overwatch and have moved on to Marvel Rivals. But not everyone will leave. I, for one, joined in Overwatch 2. I joined at the not half end, at the last week or so, 2 weeks or so of season 1 of Overwatch 2. I now peak high plat, low diamond, which I'm sure isn't a lot, but like, bear with me here. Don't be, oh, you're not GM, I don't want your opinion. But we shouldn't be arguing over this. We shouldn't be blindly raging about the other's game. Overwatch people shouldn't be hating on Marvel Rivals or calling people who switch to Marvel Rivals traitors. It's childish. As well as Marvel Rivals shouldn't be calling Overwatch players stuck in the past or victims of whatever it's called, Stockholm Syndrome. This is childish. I know we're on the internet and everyone's childish at times, but this is seriously a new low. We need to all grow up. Let the people who like the story and the reasoning and the lesson of Overwatch to play Overwatch, and let the people who like the story, reasoning, and lesson of Marvel Rivals to play Marvel Rivals. Gameplay-wise, I don't really have a preference too much towards one or the other. I mean, I still have a preference towards Overwatch because I prefer first person, and there's not really any character that has my main in it in Marvel Rivals, being my main is Brig. But the gameplay is pretty similar enough. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. I think it's just really annoying to see everyone arguing so violently over this. Why can't we just have our differences? Why do you need to convince people that your game is better? Why? This leads me to my next point, which is Overwatch exemplifies exactly what the Luigi Mangione situation was. He saw the world for how it could be, not for how it is. Now, did he do a crime? Yes. I'm not going to speak my opinion on the matter because my opinion is a little positive, but, you know, I think everyone's is. I'm not going to speak my opinion on the matter, though. But that is Overwatch's lesson. Like Hazard, if you compare Hazard and what happened that day, they're pretty similar. Same with Soldier and what happened that day. Or Ramatra and what happened to that day. Or hell, even the Widowmaker cinematic thing from ages ago. I mean, sure, that's the opposite regard. It's Talon versus actual good guys. But you get the point. It is trying to overthrow things for the greater good. not in Talon's perspective, but for a purpose. They're trying to see the world for how it could be. Now, do they want the world to be good? No. But you see what I mean. I just don't have that tie to Marvel Rivals. Again, not saying Marvel Rivals is a bad game. It's a good game. I just prefer Overwatch. It has more something I can grasp onto and believe in. Something that I live by every day. See the world for how it could be, not for how it is. So, yeah. Let everyone have their own opinion. But please, for the love of God, can both communities just shut the fuck up? Overwatch is not better than Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is not better than Overwatch. Everyone has their own opinion. Shut up. Just shut up. Let everyone have their opinion. You don't need to convince everyone that your game is better. It's simply childish. Simply childish. I was gonna make this a big, long video, but I'm not going to. Sure, it's like 17 minutes now, but I was thinking it was gonna be an hour 20 or something like that. But I'm not going to. It's not gonna happen. But I am going to go over a couple comments that I saw on the Watchovers channel today that I think exemplifies the problem between Overwatch and Marvel Rivals community. Now, I'm going to show a screenshot of these comments, but on the newest video by the Watchover, there are two comments by somebody named Strawberry Serenity. The first one says, "Look, at the end of the day, you need to figure out what you're actually doing here. The game is dead, the numbers don't lie, and everyone knows Blizzard has completely checked out. If you want to keep going, that's your call, but just make sure it's worth your time. Don't sink energy into something that has no future. There's no shame in stepping back or reevaluating. Just some advice, take it or leave it." That's fine. That's doable. I mean, that I agree with that. If you don't think the game is worth pursuing as a career, that is perfectly fine. Their second comment is where I have my problem. They say, "Oh, the Watchover, huh? You really rolled up thinking you were about to save Overwatch like some knight in shining armor. Let me break it to you. The game is dead. Blizzard killed it, buried it, and now even the vultures are bored. If Twitch barely scrapes 10K viewers a day for Overwatch, your so-called community is just bots, trolls, and people who forgot to close the tab. And here you are, acting like this is your big opportunity. Bro, you're not reviving anything. You're just the last guy looting a burning building. And let's not forget Flats. You think you're stepping into his shoes? Flats bailed because even he saw the dumpster fire that wasn't worth it. Now he's out here spectating cheaters for content, the most half-assed, lazy, low-effort garbage you could possibly call a career. The dude's basically a referee of hackers for this point. Even he's too much of a coward to admit he's riding the game's corpse for scraps. And you're trying to be a knockoff version of that? Pathetic. Here's the reality. Blizzard doesn't care about the game. Flats doesn't care. The player base doesn't care. If you think tying your future to Overwatch is a smart move, you've already lost. Use this as your wake-up call. If your entire career revolves around this game, you're a loser, plain and simple. Even if you're making some money, it's not going to last. And let's be real, you're probably not even making enough to justify the embarrassment. Turn this around. Do something real with your life, because the way you're heading, you're just another cautionary tale. That is, you are actually, speaking to Strawberry Serenity here, you are actually just evil. You're actually just a supervillain. If the dude is passionate about a game and he wants to make videos for that game, let him do it and shut the fuck up. Just let him do it. And shut the fuck up. There's nothing else that you need to say other than the first comment that you said. You did not need to call him a loser. He's not a loser. Very nice guy. I've had a couple conversations with him already. You do not need to call him a loser. Another comment I saw, which is just annoying, is he... Actually, no, I'm not going to talk about that. Nope. It's not part of the point. I'm not going to do that. Another comment, though, said, don't want to play Marvel Rivals? Okay, have fun in whatever dead game you're playing. Oh, it's worse than a dead game, it's LOL. I don't care about the last half of that sentence. I don't have any strong opinions on League of Legends. But call it a dead game all you want. There are going to be people who like the game. There are going to be people who play the game. Why do we need to argue over what game is better and what game is worse? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why are we so up in arms? Let people enjoy what they enjoy. Who fucking cares? If I enjoy turning on my fan if I enjoy turning on and off my fan over and over all fucking day, let me do that. If I enjoy playing Overwatch all fucking day, let me do that. If I enjoy making videos on Overwatch, let me fucking do that. Who cares? If you're commenting on videos saying that Overwatch is a dead game, bro, just leave it. It's dead. Bro, just take the L. Like, you're not even the target demographic. Like, you guys act surprised when you click on a video about Overwatch, don't like it, and then comment a snide remark. Use your brain. Don't fucking click on it. Right-click the video. Click not interested. It won't pop up in your feed again. Click do not recommend channel. It won't pop up in your feed again. Do you guys know how the internet works? You can choose to not see things you don't like. You don't need to convince everyone that you are correct more than anyone else. Whatever happened to the saying, art is in the eye of the beholder? If some people think Overwatch is art and some people think Overwatch is shit, let them both think that way. Now, you can have debates. I have no problem with debates on what game has better this or this or this. Those are different. But saying, your game dead, lol, is just childish. It's just childish. That's all I have to say on the matter, because I'm not going to go on a tangent any longer. But if I see any of these comments on my channel, I will ban you from the channel. I don't care. I genuinely don't give a fuck. I have like 200 subscribers, almost 300. I don't even have an audience, really. I have 300 people roughly that are interested in the channel. And I know none of them talk to me like that. I've talked to a lot of my subscribers. They're very respectable people. I will ban you from the channel if you talk like a fucking idiot. People on both sides. People like Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. Or either, or both, or neither. I'm going to say this to all of you. If you see anyone who just says, my opinion's better, lol, basically, please just either remove them from the comment section entirely, ignore them, or call them out. Do something. Even if it's nothing. Don't just let them sit there like they own the world, thinking that, oh, my opinion is better than everyone else's. Everyone on the internet needs to learn to respect one another. So even if you have an internet argument, tell them you need to learn to respect other people, because we've lost that on the internet. Nobody respects each other. Nobody respects each other's opinions. I grew up on this fucking internet. All right? I'm a fucking Zoomer. Gen Z. What happened to our respect? Have some respect. I'll see you later.